Here we go. Welcome into the 49ers Report live right here on Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. Hope all of you out there in the faithful having a fantastic Tuesday. A lot to unpack, a lot to talk about on today's show as San Francisco at 5-4 getting set to play the Arizona Cardinals. But a lot of news items that we're going to get to on today's show, including the 49ers signing a quarterback and a pretty intriguing wide receiver to their practice squad. Jacob Eason signing with San Francisco. Kurt Benkert has been released off of the practice squad. Eason, a former 5-star All-American, really highly touted quarterback coming out of high school, went to Georgia, went to Washington, never fully lived up to the expectations of being the U.S. Army All-American Player of the Year. But as soon as I saw that Kurt Benkert was going to get let go by San Francisco, he actually broke the news himself on his Twitter page, had an indication that the 49ers would make a corresponding roster move to try to bring in another quarterback. That guy is Jacob Eason. They have also signed wide receiver Dazz, Newsome, a late-round pick out of UNC for the Chicago Bears, who was released, didn't stick around with the Kansas City Chiefs, but does offer some return ability on special teams. We're going to get to that. We're going to preview this Cardinals game. We're going to take your questions. We are only getting started right here live on the 49ers Report. Appreciate all of you for hopping on board, joining the show. So if you're subscribed and you have your noties on, because everybody who's tuned in right now, you're subscribed, you have your notifications on. If you didn't get that noti, well, that means that you're not subscribed and you don't have on those noties. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button to stay in the know with all things 49ers, because when they make moves like this, when there's something big out there, we cover it and we give you analysis coverage of the San Francisco 49ers year-round on a daily basis. So tighten me if you're subbed and you have your noties on. We'll give you some shout-outs here on the show. Luis, Monk, Ray Sanchez, Wet Noodle 187, Austin Baker, Eugene Parks, Scoob Boy, also in the chat. Make sure you also answer our live poll question. This is a really good one because I'm sure a lot of you saw that clip of Jimmy Garoppolo courtside with Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk at the Golden State Warriors game, and all the cheerleaders approached all of those Niners, and of course, they just had heart emojis in their eyes when they saw Jimmy Garoppolo on the sideline. It actually was pretty hilarious. So our poll question here today, which Niner would you want to hang out with the most? Jimmy G, Deebo Samuel, Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle. So far, 97 votes, 49% coming in with number 85, George Kittle. More shout-outs to the people. Rigo, Ray Sanchez saying he's a straight pimp. Jimmy GQ, that's what they call him. He is a G. He is a pimp. Scoob Boy saying he'd rather hang out with Deebo Samuel. That's his guy. Thomas B, Fawa, Baby Cakes, Gerardo, Rome Garrett, also in the chat as well. So we're going to talk about Jacob Eason, him being signed to the Niners practice squad. Trivia question for you all. Where did Jacob Eason go to college? Kind of a trick question. If you know, let me know right now in the comment section. Where did Jacob Eason go to school? Tryon Ryan, 551 Jersey Boy, Monk Gaming, Mario Thomas, all said, I'd hang out with Kyle Shanahan. Deebo and George Kittle. Tryon Ryan said, I love his energy. Tom Downey in the house.
How are we defining where he went to college?
I know. That's why I said it's a little bit of a trick question. So I want to see if people can get it because he did go to two schools. Tryon Ryan. Good job. Washington and Georgia. That's where he went to school. UGA, then Washington, from Lachey Quinton. Now, I did say it a little bit earlier. I just wanted to hear and see who had their ears out for Jacob Eason. That is where he went to school. So a little bit of background for Eason. He's 24 years old, former 5-star quarterback, U.S. Army All-American, really highly coveted quarterback coming out of the high school ranks. Initially started out at Georgia. That's where he committed to. Then he transferred to Washington. And in college, he was really just okay. Had a good arm, 6'6", 231. Because of his arm talent, that's why he was a 4th-round pick. He's barely played throughout his NFL career. 5 of 10, 0 of 2 touchdown to interception ratio, Trace. If we could take a look at these numbers here. 84 total yards for Jacob Eason in minimal playing time and a quarterback rating of 39.2. So that's what Jacob Eason has been able to do. Taryn Francis, any 49er Bang Bang Niner gang, forever Niner fan, saying beat Arizona, beat AZ, beat AZ. That is certainly the motto all throughout the week. Some people saying, go hang out with Eagles fans. Yeah, I mean, I host the NFL coverage here at Chat Sports, including the Niners and the Eagles. If you hate on the grind, then I question your work ethic because I have passion for what I do. Don't knock your boy. All right, today's show is presented by Established Titles. With the holiday season coming up around the corner, Black Friday, wildly going to be here in just a couple of weeks. Get yourself somebody who you care about, loved one, family member, significant other, one of the most unique gifts that you can find anybody. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It's a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds, lords, and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land right here with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. They plant a tree with every order and work with global charities One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profiles. It makes for a great last-minute gift. And the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using our link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a Lord or a Lady, we can build our own 49ers Report Kingdom. Think about how cool that would be. Makes for an amazing last-minute gift. They're running a massive early Black Friday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. If you use the code CHAT, you get an additional 10% off. So one more time, establishedtitles.com/chat. That link right now is hanging out right in the comment section. Mutt Flatulence saying, Lord Chase. Yes, Lord Chase. That is my nickname. 49ers 100 Chase from Baby Cakes 420. Always keeping it 100. You already know. So who you got on Monday Night Football? This is really going to be a unique environment at one of the most hyped up stadiums in the world in Mexico City, one that holds nearly 90,000 fans. And we know that the San Francisco 49ers have a worldwide fan base, as evidenced by how many people tune into our show, as we are the largest Niners News and Rumors channel out there. We have people tuned in from Ireland, every pocket of America, down under in Australia, Germany. IFR Dre, shout out to him, watching from overseas. He's tuned in from Denmark. There are people watching from all over the place, and that includes a very large Spanish population for the San Francisco 49ers, including a lot of our subscribers, because we've been able to chop it up since I took over the channel. So, yes, the 49ers are on the road on Monday Night Football in Mexico City against the hurt Arizona Cardinals. We'll talk Kyler Murray a little bit later, but how cool is it that a lot of the faithful down in Mexico City is going to make this a home away from home game? So who you got? Because the atmosphere with nearly 90,000 people is going to be a special one. We'll talk more about that coming around the corner. But who you got? SF for the Niners, ARI for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's go. Who you got? Baby Cakes 420. Are you going to Mexico for that game? I wish I could. I wish I could. Mutt Flatulence. Hispanos para los 49ers. Did I say that right? Rick Nears, what up, Chase? What up, Rick? How you doing today? Mario Thomas, my bad, bro. I didn't know that you're a host for the NFL. I thought it was just for the 49ers. My bad. Yeah, I just cover the NFL, NBA, college football, everything here at Chat Sports. So you can't knock the hustle, because this is a dream job for me, talking professional sports.
Chase only covers all 3 of those sports.
Yeah,
just the 3 different sports.
Hey, gotta grind, gotta hustle. Y'all know the deal. Jeremy going with the Niners, always riding San Francisco. Alpha. Vikings got the easiest luck so far this season. Joseph, what's up, brother? What's up, Joseph? San Francisco 49ers. Viva Mexico, San Francisco 49ers from RAF. Russell Patrick, San Francisco. Wet Noodle 187 tuned in from enemy territory near Seattle, going with the Niners. My Niners, of course, from Joseph. Ernesto Ojeda, good to see you again, my guy. San Francisco. Never will I shy away from my Niners, from Thomas R. McTizick. Now, stay tuned here, because in just a couple of seconds, I'm going to let you know how you can help us get our watch party into a Mexico City theme for Monday Night Football between the Niners and the Cardinals. Let's talk some football throughout our live show, though. A couple ways for you to get involved. Use the hashtag 49ers, better yet, Super Chat, to get on the show. We're going to be answering your questions here down the road. So if you want to chop it up, you have a question, you have a comment, hot take, if the 49ers should sign somebody, draft prospects, please let me know right now. Get those questions in by using the hashtag 49ers. Now, previewing what I just had said, I kind of want to make our Monday Night Football watch party an absolute blast. So if we get $50 in total Super Chats during our live show today, I'm going to buy this Nacho Libre mask for Monday Night Football. A 49ers-themed Nacho Libre mask to wear during our watch party to make it Mexico City themed, and give shout outs to those of you who helped us get it. So we're going to document every single super chat that comes in today during our live show. If we get $50 in total, I'm rocking this during the watch party to celebrate the Niners playing in Mexico City in front of their huge Spanish fan base. And I know a lot of you are about that as well, because a lot of you hail from Mexico, Mexico City, and Spanish populous countries all around the world. So there you go. That's the deal right there. Trace, what's up?
Also, so we do have a wheel. So what, $5, $10? We'll do it. So we do the Debo song, 10 jumping jacks, freestyle, San Francisco chant, 10 push-ups, and then the Borat voice. Very nice.
Very nice. So that's our spinning wheel.
Yeah,
and
then if you get red, you swing and a miss. Sorry about it.
You swing and a miss. You send in a super chat. We can do those, and we get the $50 in total. We'll get the Nacho Libre mask to add a little spice to our Monday Night Football watch party right here on the Niners Report. Loner Incognito making a good point. A lot of red going to be worn there. That's why it's going to be just an awesome atmosphere, and it's going to be the right red. It's going to be the scarlet red, the red of the champions, the red of the San Francisco 49ers, not that fraudulent Cardinal red. Nope, that's not what the deal is. All right, if you're ready to start breaking everything down on our live show, we have nearly 200 people watching live. Get the comment section flowing. Most importantly, though, like the video. Hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, if you're ready to break everything down, because there's a lot that we're going to unpack and get to here on the show. Let me get that, Chase, from Draco. Hey, I'll wear it for a Monday Night Football watch party if we get the $50 in total super chats, and maybe we'll auction it off to the biggest super chatter. We can do that. I'll autograph it and auction it off to the biggest super chatter on Monday Night Football. But to get it, let's get the $50 in super chats during our live show. No doubt, I think the faithful is going to help us get there. All right, 201 people watching live, 44 likes. Not starting until we get at least 70. So if you want the show to officially begin to talk about these Niner signings, hey, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. Did get a $5 super chat in from Callie. So I'm going to keep tabs on everybody who sends in a super chat. And then if we get the 50, everybody who helps us get there, let's make it a team effort. We'll give you shout outs when I rock it on our Monday Night Football watch party. So Callie with $5. We appreciate that.
Oh, you got it! You got it already!
We already got it, Rick.
We got the mask!
Let's go, Rick. $50 in super chats. We're getting the mask. Rick. We might have to put your name on it, sign it, and send it to you. Rick. So we were supposed to just make it a team effort. And then Rick said, you know what? I'm just going to get it for you. I'm just going to send in the $50 super chat. That's it. Stephen Lopez tuned in from Perry, Missouri. Ryan saying, hey, Rick, Mutt Flatulence. Rick is a real one. He no doubt is. Baby Cakes is blazing up here on a Tuesday. Rick, we appreciate that. Let's show him the Nacho Libre mask again. This is what we're rocking on Monday Night Football in Mexico City. Thanks to Rick Neers, who comes through, the bearded man, the best beard that you'll ever see out there, sending in a $50 super chat. We'll get the Nacho Libre mask. We'll rock it on Monday Night Football to celebrate the Niners playing in Mexico City. All right, we're about to start our official live show here to talk about a couple of signings that the Niners have made today. We'll preview this game against the Arizona Cardinals. We have a Kyler Murray injury update that we'll also touch on. Probably want to put that intro screen up there, Trizzy. Then we can dive into our segments here. Hashtag 49ers or Super Chat to get featured on the show as we talk about all things Niners coming up right now on the San Francisco 49ers Report. What's good? Welcome in. You're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. No matter where you are or how you're tuned in, greatly appreciate all of you for making today's show a part of your day. A lot to touch on today's edition of the 49ers Report. First, though, it is sponsored and presented by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. If you have a business out there, you want to put together a cast of employees that has your roster at work looking as strong as the 49ers roster put together by John Lynch, post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. We'll tell you more about them coming up here in just a few moments. So we start off with this. San Francisco on a Tuesday signing a quarterback to their practice squad. They have also signed a pretty intriguing wide receiver who we'll talk about coming up here down the road. But Jacob Eason being named and signed to the practice squad, the corresponding roster move. Kurt Benkert, the other quarterback, has been released from the practice squad. And a little bit of a background on Jacob Eason. Still young, 24 years old, coming out of high school, he was highly touted as arguably the best quarterback prospect coming out of the high school ranks. Originally committed to Georgia, went there, transferred to Washington. That's where he finished his college career. And this is a guy who has great size, 6'6", 231 with a strong arm, but hasn't really carved out a huge role in the National Football League. Really his best trait, it's a strong arm. Other than that, he's lacking in other areas. But because of those intangibles and that athletic ability, he was a fourth-round pick from the Indianapolis Colts back in the 2020 NFL Draft. Has played sparingly throughout his career. He did spend some time with the Seattle Seahawks, as you see with the picture behind the graphic. 5 of 10 throughout his career. 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 84 yards with a quarterback rating abysmal, 39.2. But again, hasn't played much throughout his NFL career. Jacob Eason. How about this? You've played and spent time with the Seattle Seahawks. Give Kyle Shanahan and the crew some intel on the Sea Chickens, especially ahead of the 49ers meeting them on Thursday Night Football, which could decide the NFC West in a couple of weeks. But he's been with the Indianapolis Colts, got drafted out of the 4th round, 2021 with the Seattle Seahawks, 2022 with the Carolina Panthers, and now he has been signed to the Niners practice squad. And I had a feeling that San Francisco was going to sign a quarterback because Kurt Benkert, who was the other quarterback on the practice squad, had tweeted that his time in San Francisco is coming to an end. And he has been on a long journey throughout his football life. Started off at East Carolina, then went to Virginia, went undrafted in the 2018 NFL Draft, was with the Atlanta Falcons from 2018 to 2020, Green Bay Packers last year and this year in the practice squad. And he did break the news himself. So if he doesn't have a future as a quarterback, maybe he'll be a newsbreaker for himself. He said, I've been released by the Niners, really enjoyed this stint in Santa Clara. The journey continues. Now, we are breaking all of this down because when news happens, we bring you the best, most deep analysis among all 49er channels out there, and we involve you, the subscribers, our viewers, more so than anybody because we absolutely love the faithful. So if you're subscribed and you have your notifications on, I want you to let us know by typing me. We're going to show you some love back in the comment section because those of you who do subscribe and have your noties on, it allows us to make this the best Niners channel out there and give you videos every single day. Field Yates also with this as San Francisco not only signed Jacob Eason, they signed a wide receiver, Dazz Newsome, to their practice squad. Late round pick out of UNC. They placed Tajay Sharp on the practice squad and the injured list and released quarterback Kurt Benkert, as we said. And Dazz Newsome is somewhat intriguing, okay? So he gets drafted by the Chicago Bears and did not play well at all 2 years ago. 3 games played, 5 targets, 2 catches, 23 yards. This year, he was kind of a surprise cut candidate for Chicago, considering where he was drafted in the 6th round of the 2021 NFL Draft out of UNC. And when he was playing in college, this is a guy who had a lot of speed, has return ability. So I don't expect him, unless an injury happens, to crack this 49ers active roster. But if Ray McCloud were to go down at any point, Dazz Newsome could be that return guy to fill in his shoes. Obviously, you have to plan for the future. Dazz Newsome does have some return ability and that elite speed, but the hands not consistent enough. Today's show, it is presented by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. We're coming to the end of the calendar year, which is crazy to think about. And if you're running a business out there, regardless of the size of it, you want to finish the year strong. You can post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. And these days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates out there. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. We've been using LinkedIn Talent Solutions for a really long time, and that's why when I was hired back in March of 2021, I was the 8th employee hired. And we've been able to grow our staff with some really bright, intelligent, hardworking people because we found the right candidates thanks to LinkedIn Jobs and LinkedIn Talent Solutions. You can add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring, because when people are on LinkedIn, they'll see that very visible to the eye with that purple hiring frame and be attracted to your job posting. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so that you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. So post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. Terms and conditions apply. We'll put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. If you want to know more about the Chat Sports path as a company, just hit me up, man. It's a pretty fascinating one. Now we shift gears and pivot to some 49ers injury news, and some of this pretty important. Danny Gray going to be day-to-day with an ankle injury. He actually suffered that ankle injury in the lead-up to that primetime game the other night. Arik Armstead does have a chance to play on Monday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals. He's been dealing with a slight fracture in his foot. He is so good against the rush. So if you get him back, it just boosts your defensive presence against the ground game. And is Dre Greenlaw going to get suspended for that hit on Justin Herbert on Sunday night? I don't think so. I've aired my frustrations and my thoughts on that hit. Jimmy Ward hit Justin Herbert into Dre Greenlaw. That's why there was helmet-to-helmet contact. But Kyle Shanahan was asked about the Greenlaw suspension, and he said this: I haven't talked to anyone, but yeah, I'm not expecting him to get suspended, but I don't know. I just finished with the players and really came right into here. But yeah, I'd be very surprised if he was. Dre, I don't know. I feel like he's almost a first-time offender. It is not something he's done much, and I think he's been pretty good at that stuff. So that's why it would surprise me. So I kind of side with Kyle Shanahan here. I don't expect Dre Greenlaw to get suspended, nor do I think he should be. I think that type of call should be reviewed, and the officiating crew should have seen that Jimmy Ward hit Justin Herbert into Dre Greenlaw, and you can't expect him to just pull up going full speed in an instant like that. What do you think about the call? A lot of people talked about it during our watch party the other night, but was it the right call to eject Dre Greenlaw? C for correct, W for wrong. Once again, sound off, join the conversation, and interact with everybody else down in the comment section right now. So going back to that primetime game, Monday Night Football in Mexico City. San Francisco will play the Arizona Cardinals as the road team, and the game is going to take place at Estadio Azteca, an iconic soccer stadium, one of the more revered soccer venues in the entire world. Why? Great atmosphere and a stadium capacity of nearly 90,000 people. I think this is awesome that San Francisco is the road team for a couple of reasons. They don't get a home game taken away from their schedule. They get to be the road team against Arizona, but it's going to be a home away from home game because the San Francisco 49ers have a worldwide fan base. The Arizona Cardinals do not. San Francisco has a large Spanish following, especially in Mexico and Mexico City. It's going to be a very cool atmosphere. Make sure you tune in for our watch party on Monday night. As for the Niners' practice plans this week, higher elevation in Mexico City. So when you're playing football, you have to prepare for that. And San Francisco will practice at Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs to prepare for elevation change. Kyle Shanahan was asked about that tactic and that plan. Here's what he had to say, and it's actually pretty smart. Just talking to a few other teams who've done it before, then having all of our guys here, starting with the head of player and health performance, Ben Peterson, just research the science of the elevation change and give us the recommendation of what they thought helped the most. And they thought getting there earlier, getting acclimated to it earlier would help us. We're taking off Tuesday, so we've got 8 days with the extra day. We treated on Monday like a true Monday. We just finished reviewing all the game tape, just finished up with the players. Tomorrow will basically be an off day. We'll travel there. Then Wednesday will be a Tuesday. Then we'll be in a normal week that Thursday. And then we'll head to Mexico City on Sunday. So this is something that you have to prepare for because the weather is going to be a little bit warmer as compared to other climates where you could play in the middle of November, and then the elevation change can really zap some of your stamina. So that's why San Francisco will be practicing at Colorado Springs at Air Force Academy to prepare for that elevation change. And San Francisco, since Kyle Shanahan has been head coach, they've been top 10 in injury rate every year since 2017, so they have to be able to avoid further injuries. As for a Kyler Murray update, what's the latest on Kyler? Is he going to play on Monday night as we continue to kind of preview this game? Didn't play against the Rams. Colt McCoy got the start. He got hurt for a moment. So Trace McSorley, the former Penn State quarterback, came in to relieve him. Then Colt McCoy was able to finish out a victory against the Los Angeles Rams, who also played two of their backups, including John Wolford. So Cliff Kingsbury giving an update on Tuesday on Kyler Murray. We want to continue to progress him and see where that see where things are, excuse me. We're playing the 49ers. That's a defensive line that you better be full speed and be able to run against, move and do the things that he can do. So we'll see how he feels Wednesday and try to go from there. In the last game, he wasn't able to really separate like he can when he gets in those open spaces, and that is a big weapon for him. And Kyler Murray, with the football in his hands, is a special weapon running the football. Now, he has struggled this year as a passer, and the entire Cardinals team has really had a precipitous drop from last year and the year before, considering the path and the trajectory that they were on as an offense. They just haven't been able to find a rhythm. And Kyler Murray has been injured pretty much every year that he's been in the NFL. And I want to sit here and say that if you take on Colt McCoy, that's a game that you should win easily. Well, last year we saw at Levi's Stadium when the Niners got off to that sluggish start, we were saying the same thing. Kyler Murray was out, Colt McCoy was in, and Colt McCoy kind of dominated San Francisco. Can't allow that to happen on Monday Night Football. Got to string together a third consecutive win. So with this game in Mexico City, Monday Night Football, join our watch party. Who you got? SF for the Niners, ARI for the Arizona Cardinals. Get those predictions in. And as always, thanks for watching the show. All right, let's give you some shout-outs here. Wet Noodle 187 getting that question in for our mailbag. Baby Cakes, Big Money Stan, Jenny Wolfie, Tom Houlihan, San Francisco, Words of Wisdom, San Francisco, Byron McCants, San Francisco, Brent Smith also going with the Niners, JP likes the Niners to win, Words of Wisdom, that's the Mexican Greedo, our guy Mark, he knows what the deal is. All right, coming up, we're going to answer some of your questions here on the show. A few ways for you to get involved. Use the hashtag 49ers, or better yet, Super Chat us to get featured on the show. Super Chatting allows you to skip the line. We'll answer your questions first. And because we have Mark Valencia here, Trace, Words of Wisdom, he is one of our bigger Niner fans who always tells us to do the Mexican Grito. So let's show him what we're doing on Monday Night Football. Thanks to Rick Neers, and you can add to the fund as well. I had said a little bit earlier, if we get the $50 in total Super Chats, I'm going to buy this 49ers Nacho Libre mask to wear on Monday Night Football. So if you want to contribute to the fund, we did already get there, but we will put all the names of our Super Chatters who help us get there, and we'll get you featured on the show during our Monday Night Football watch party when we get this mask that we'll wear to celebrate the Niners playing in Mexico City.
We do have to spin the wheel for the Super Chat that came in. So we're going to just do one for right now. All right. 10 push-ups. You want them or do you want me to
10 push-ups? I'll do them.
All right. Here,
so spinning the wheel for the other Super Chats that came in.
All right. I'll spin the other wheel while he does his 10 push-ups.
Yep.
You ready?
Well, no. No, I said you did spin the wheel, so you got to turn the camera. And it landed on 10 push-ups again. Oh, so I'll just do 20 for the Super Chats that came in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Wow, what form. Incredible form right there.
Hey, appreciate your Super Chats.
Your Super Chats get us jacked.
Thanks for your Super Chats. You need a Lato Libre type wrestler's name, Chase. How about the next Super Chatter? The biggest Super Chatter from here on out gets to give me my Mexican wrestler name. Words of Wisdom. I vote El Guapo. El Guapo Gringo. Master Chef with the $2 Super Chat. We appreciate that as well. Try and Ryan, what are you saying? Oh, you missed a the Mexican Grito. It's kind of become a staple of the Niners Report. David Corona, what up, bro? What up, David? Master Chef, faithful Niners for life. Start taking your questions. Let's talk some Niners football. Hashtag 49ers Super Chat to get featured on the show. If you want to contribute to our Nacho Libre mask fund, you send in the Super Chat and we'll get everybody featured here. So far, let's see. Master Chef. I got to write these down. Callie, Rick Neers, and Master Chef. Those are the ones that we need, right, Trace? Cool. As of right now, you're all getting shout-outs during our Monday Night Football watch party when I rock the Nacho Libre mask. Did Dre Greenlaw get suspended from LS10? No, not as of right now. Try and Ryan. I see you. Appreciate you supporting the show. Kenneth Carr, Bang Bang Niner Gang, let's go. Oh, with the Yankees? Nice. Interesting. All right, cool. So let's talk some Niners football here. Hashtag 49ers or Super Chat. Get those questions in. First, going to take a look at the NFC playoff picture to see where San Francisco is right now in the NFC playoff picture. We'll also show you how things are shaking out in the AFC playoff picture as well. Then we'll start answering your questions. It's all getting underway right now, right here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. We're going to break down the NFC playoff picture. Then we're going to answer some of your questions as well. And it's all going to be presented by Established Titles. Welcome into the 49ers Report. Chase Senior here with you. Appreciate all of you for watching the show. Coming your way, a look at the NFC playoff picture to see where San Francisco stands right now at 5-4, going into Monday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals. Then we'll take a look at the latest 49ers news and rumors and take your questions from all of our loyal subscribers. So, you look at the NFC playoff picture right now, going into Week 11 of the 2022 NFL season. Even though the Philadelphia Eagles fell on Monday Night Football in a surprise game to the Washington Commanders, they're still in first place in the NFC with that 8-1 record. They do have the tiebreaker over the Minnesota Vikings because they beat them pretty badly in Week 2. The surprise team of the NFL here in 2022 is the Seattle Seahawks. They are now sporting a 6-4 record, but going up against teams with a top 10 DVOA, the 49ers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got dominated. So are they going to fall apart in the back half of the season? A big matchup coming up in a couple of weeks on Thursday Night Football in Seattle between the Niners and the Seahawks to maybe determine the NFC West champion. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in a bad division in the NFC South, are 500 at 5-5, but they are in fourth place as the last divisional winner as of right now. The wild card teams do include the New York Giants at 7-2. Like the Seahawks, really exceeding expectations this year. The Dallas Cowboys, following that loss to the Green Bay Packers, at 6-3. San Francisco 49ers would make the playoffs if the season were to end today at 5-4, but I think they end up winning this division to host a home playoff game. Washington Commanders at 5-5. The Niners have a half-game lead over Washington, and then the Green Bay Packers, outside looking in, 9th place at 4-6, and the Atlanta Falcons at 4-6 so far this year. That NFC South, it's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out. And Tom Brady on the road for a pretty good team hosting a divisional playoff game, that could be a nightmare. So if the season also were to end today, we would see a pretty intriguing matchup in Minneapolis. It would be the 7-seeded 49ers going on the road to take on the 2-seeded Minnesota Vikings. And let's spend a couple of minutes talking about this matchup. If this matchup were to come to fruition, and this would be a reality, I think San Francisco matches up very, very well with Minnesota. Until Kirk Cousins can win a primetime game, and I'm not counting the win over the Buffalo Bills as such, I'm not buying into the Minnesota Vikings, especially in the playoffs. And the physicality of the Niners defense, I think, bodes well and matches up very favorably against Minnesota. Yes, they do have Justin Jefferson. Adam Thielen has been the same guy the last couple of years. The trade that they made for TJ Hawkinson was a good one. And of course, Kyle Shanahan is very familiar with Kirk Cousins. But this is a matchup. If it were to happen in the NFL wildcard round, I would really like San Francisco to go on the road like they did last year against the Dallas Cowboys, pull off the upset, and get a big dub in the big dance. So who do you think wins the division right now? We have a great race between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Project forward. Who wins the division? I'm going the Niners, so I'm going to type my SF. You're going with the Seahawks? Type SEA. Let me know right now. AFC playoff picture. We'll spend a couple of minutes here because I know a lot of you want to get informed about what's going on in the NFL. Really good race here in the AFC too, just like the NFC. But I do think the NFC has a lot more parity. And if you ask me right now, I think the Eagles and the Niners have the two best rosters in the NFC. In the AFC, Kansas City Chiefs, #1 seed at 7-2. We saw firsthand what Patrick Mahomes can do when he's feeling it a couple of weeks ago at Levi Stadium. The Miami Dolphins, undefeated with Tua Tagovailoa, in that #2 spot in the NFC at 7-3. Tennessee Titans at 6-3 at that 3 spot. In the 4 position, it's the Baltimore Ravens at 6-3. New York Jets, led by Robert Saleh, 6-3. They would make the playoffs if the season were to conclude today. And how about the Kyle Shanahan proteges? Mike McDaniel, Robert Saleh, right now would have their teams in the playoffs. Buffalo Bills at number 6, that's a scary team to face in the wild card round. New England Patriots at 5-4, locking up that 7 spot as of the current moment. Los Angeles Chargers following the loss to the Niners in that 8 spot. Cincinnati Bengals, look out for Joe Burrow and the crew. I think they soar up these rankings here at 5-4 and that 9 seed. And the Jeff Saturday-led Indianapolis Colts, their playoff hopes, there's still a heartbeat there, 4-5 following their win over the Las Vegas Raiders. So I asked you earlier who would win the NFC West. How about this question? If you're a big football fan, get into the comment section. Who wins the AFC? Want to hear from you down in the comment section. And on the other side, we will start answering your questions right here from the faithful, because I know a lot of you have some big questions about the 49ers and where they're at from here on out until the end of the regular season. But our show today is Established Titles as our presenting sponsor. We really appreciate them for all of their support of the 49ers Report. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It's a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds, lords, and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. They plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, and dating profiles. It makes for a great last-minute gift, and the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using our link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a Lord or a Lady, we can build our own 49ers Report kingdom. It makes for an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is actually running a massive early Black Friday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off, and if you use the code CHAT, you get an additional 10% off. You see my crest here, Lord Chase Sr.? That's what I want everybody to call me for the rest of the show. Address me as Lord Chase Sr. because I have land in Scotland thanks to establishedtitles.com/chat. I got 10% off. You can as well. We'll put that link in the comment section right now. Raiders for life. Starting off our mailbag portion of this segment, you're an amazing host. Any update on the package and the 49ers working out Kevin King? No update as of right now, Evan, and we will get you that update. Hold on. Is this for Raiders for Life or Evan Hinders? Trace, I'm kind of confused. I think this is supposed to be from Evan Hinders, right? Or is it from Raiders for Life? Either way, Evan Hinders did send us a package, and Evan will pop his question up now. We have not gotten that package as of yet. As of Kevin King working out, no update on that front. Evan also asking this, the 49ers should try out Malcolm Butler. Now, it is really unfortunate what happened to Jason Verrett. I feel so badly for him. This is a guy who, when he's been able to stay on the field, he's been able to really play good football. Unfortunately for him, though, his season has gotten cut short time and time again with these injuries. Last year, torn ACL. This year, it's the torn Achilles. And because the 49ers no longer have him at their disposal, Malcolm Butler could be a decent cornerback who you sign. San Francisco did work out several players this week. It did not include any cornerbacks of note. Master Chef, what do you think the 49ers should do with Jason Verrett since he is so injury prone? I think that Jason Verrett is going to retire. He's in the final year of his contract. He only did sign a 1-year deal, by the way. I don't think he comes back. I don't think the Niners take another chance on him. He is a favorite in that locker room. Players were wearing Jason Verrett shirts prior to Sunday Night Football. It goes to show you the respect that they have for him. I think his football career is done. Unfortunately for him, he's been snake bitten by injuries. Evan Hinders. Will Jacob Eason be elevated to the 53-man roster? I don't think he will. I don't think Jacob Eason will be elevated to the active 53-man roster. He's going to be on the practice squad. You're going to roll with Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy as your top 2 quarterbacks. That is for sure. Jacob Eason throughout his career, this is why he's a practice squad guy, 5 of 10, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. So he's only thrown 10 passes in his NFL life, 84 yards and a quarterback rating of 39.2. Orlando Ventura. Very interesting stuff here. Let's bring back Richard Sherman. This was a conversation that we did have last year, talking about Uncle Sherm prior to him signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The 49ers were reported to have some interest in Richard Sherman because of that level of familiarity. It did confuse me how they kind of settled for options like Josh Norman and Dre Kirkpatrick. It didn't make sense to me how with the familiarity with that Niners defense, even though they shifted gears from Robert Saleh to D'Amico Ryans, why Richard Sherman didn't want to come back. Unfortunately, Orlando, I think that Sherman's done. This is a guy who the last couple of years hasn't been able to stay healthy. And when you start to get a little bit older and those soft tissue injuries are just relentless and they do not stop, red flags. So I think Sherman is enjoying his broadcasting life. His podcast on Colin Cowherd's podcast network, The Volume, has been taken off. I think he's been doing a pretty good job on Amazon. I don't think he's going to come back, but it is fun to entertain and talk about those types of things. Words of wisdom, $5 super chat. I want to see some wrestling during the watch party. Maybe a char or two. We actually do have a plastic pool here at the office, and we do have Jell-O. If we wanted to Jell-O wrestle, it would probably take like a $300 super chat right now for us to actually do that. That would be fun, but then it would take away from our watch party, and it would be pretty messy here at the office. Maybe that could be a halftime show. $300 super chat. That would be something. Evan Hinders, with Dre Greenlaw suspended, should the Niners sign Isaiah Rockwell, recently released by Cleveland? So I have not seen anything on Dre Greenlaw being suspended. As of right now, we're doing our show here on Tuesday. I'm looking for any updates on Dre Greenlaw, and I'm not seeing any updates on Dre Greenlaw. I don't expect or anticipate that he is going to get suspended. I don't. I think that upon replay, Jimmy Ward hit Justin Herbert into Dre Greenlaw. That's what caused that hit to look a lot more vicious than it actually was. Before we hop on out of here, thanks to everybody for getting your questions and your super chats in. Where are you watching from? We're asking you this because the 49ers are playing in Mexico City on Monday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals. So where are you? Let us know right now, and we appreciate your support of the show. Another super chat coming in. Just a King. We'll pop that up on the show. And we will also get that in our next mailbag. So I'm updating my list of super chatters. Add to the Nacho Libre Fund. We'll tell you more about that in a second. Got to add words of wisdom to the list. And now Just a King, also with the super chat. All of you helping us out in getting this Nacho Libre mask. So, Just a King, the release of Kurt Benkert has me eternally sad. He's kind of a cool dude. Seems like a fun guy. Is he an NFL quality quarterback? I don't think so. But at the very least, a practice squad guy who brings liveliness to the Niners locker room and a really smart dude from everything that I've heard. So, Just a King, your profile picture, by the way, looks like a dream destination. If that's your crib, invite us over. We will have a good time. So, this is what we were talking about earlier. $50 in total super chats. We buy this mask for Monday Night Football to celebrate the Niners playing in Mexico City. And then everybody who sends in a super chat today, we will give you a shout out during our Monday Night Football watch party on a graphic. So if you send in a super chat, that's why I'm writing names down. Add to the Nacho Libre mask fund, and we'll wear this during our watch party to celebrate the Niners playing on Monday Night Football. All right, before we get to our mailbag, our last live segment here, we need some likes, and we need some people to get those questions in. Use the hashtag 49ers or super chat to get featured on the show. I saw one come in from Wet Noodle 187, Orlando Ventura, Jeremy Sandoval. Make sure you use hashtag OBJ or hashtag 49ers, and asking about OBJ. But let's get some questions in to get featured on our upcoming mailbag. Also, with 316 people watching live, we really only have 83 likes. If we don't get to 100 likes, the bosses are going to make fun of me. Producer Trace is going to make fun of me as well and probably stuff me in a locker. Tyler Jones really likes that stuff. But hashtag 49ers super chat and hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. The fact that we don't have 100 likes, that is despicable.
Guys, if we get 100 likes, we'll shove Geno Smith in a locker.
Yes. We'll put Geno Smith in a locker if we get to 100 likes. $64 in super chats. And we got to 100 likes. I knew y'all would help us out. Evan Hinders getting that question in. If you want to send in a super chat to add to the Nacho Libre Mask Fund, you can do that as well. Let's get some super chats so that we can buy that Nacho Libre mask and wear it on Monday Night Football. Everybody who sends in a super chat during our live show, we're going to give you a shout out on our Monday watch party in graphical form. So get those super chats in. You'll also skip ahead of the line, and we'll answer your questions first coming up right here on our mailbag. Make sure you tune in for our watch party on Monday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals, and make sure that you join us on call-in after the game for a post-game show that allows you to actually call into the show. Monday Night Football, it's the San Francisco 49ers against the Arizona Cardinals. After our watch party, which I hope you all join us for, we will be live on call-in. Make sure you call in. And if you want to download the app, I hope that you do. When you do it, subscribe to the 49ers Report on call-in. If you have an iPhone, scan this QR code to the left on the Apple App Store or on the Google Play Store. You can scan that QR code to the right. The call-in app, it's like Twitter Spaces, but even better. It's one thing to be able to read your questions here on YouTube. It's another to actually be able to interact with you like a sports talk radio show. Let's begin our mailbag with this super chat coming in from Just the King. Appreciate that donation, my guy. The release of Kurt Benkert has me eternally sad. Well, Kurt Benkert was on the practice squad for a reason. From a playing standpoint, he was pretty limited. Played his college ball at East Carolina, then he went to Virginia. Unfortunately for him, a sad week after that shooting in Virginia with those football players. Thoughts and prayers to all the families involved. But the corresponding roster move and letting go of Kurt Benkert, the 49ers did sign this week Jacob Eason. They also added Dazz Newsome to their practice squad. Dazz Newsome, pretty intriguing guy, punt return ability, really fast, was a late-round pick for the Chicago Bears back in 2021, but was way too inconsistent with actually catching the football. And Jacob Eason, he's been well-traveled in his football life as well. He was a five-star quarterback coming out of high school, one of the more highly touted quarterbacks out of the high school ranks, went to Georgia, then went to Washington. Another donation coming in from Words of Wisdom. What's up, Words of Wisdom? Get me a shout-out on Monday, too. Gran Pelotas Valencia. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I do have to improve my Spanish ahead of our Monday Night Football watch party in Mexico City. So I got your Words of Wisdom. I'll be giving you a shout-out, no doubt, thanks to contributing to the Nacho Libre Mask Fund. Master Chef, what is the deal with running back Jordan Mason? Not much of a deal, other than Kyle Shanahan not really playing rookie players all that much. We've seen this time and time again since he took over back in 2017. It takes a while for a young player to garner the trust and respect of Kyle Shanahan. I mean, shoot, look no further than a guy like Brandon Ayuk, who is so incredibly gifted, but to start last year, he was in the doghouse, and now for 4 consecutive games, he's had more than 80 receiving yards, and I think is one of the more slept-on wide receivers in the NFL. With Jordan Mason, the running back position has a lot of nuance with this offense, trying to find which hole to go to, reading the blocking patterns because there's a lot of pre-snap motion, there's a lot of in-play motion, and a lot of these guards and offensive linemen are pulling, but also pass protection. If you're running back and you can't pass protect, you're not going to see the field because San Francisco cannot afford for Jimmy Garoppolo to go down with an injury. Orlando Ventura, any news on Odell Beckham Jr. to the San Francisco 49ers? Now, keep in mind that we're doing this mailbag on Tuesday, and as of right now, OBJ's market, it's pretty wide open with a couple of teams who are reportedly interested. As of the teams on OBJ's list, it's teams like the San Francisco 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys, the Buffalo Bills, and the Green Bay Packers. I've heard, and Jake Glazier reported, that it's kind of the Packers and the Niners as the leaders in the clubhouse for OBJ. I've kind of been mixed on bringing him in. Obviously, he is more talented and a better athlete, a better wide receiver coming out of the slot than Juwan Jennings. But it's almost as if Juwan Jennings just has a perfect role within this offense. But if you can have a playmaker of OBJ at that slot spot instead of Juwan Jennings, I don't think there's any question. It actually makes your offense better, even though, let's not sleep on what Juwan Jennings has been able to do. So good on 3rd and 4th downs the last 2 years, and a sure-handed wide receiver for San Francisco. What do you think the Niners should do? Sign OBJ? Not sign OBJ? Type OBJ for sign him, no BJ for don't sign him, and San Francisco doesn't need him. Let us know right now in the comment section. Alberto Soto, what's your opinion on Kyle not going for it on 4th down? He should have more trust on the offense and start going for it on 4th downs, especially when you're 4th and goal on the 1-yard line. It really drives me nuts how conservative Kyle Shanahan is. And you think about Shanahan and how he's revered and talked about in the national media. Everybody talks about him as being this offensive mastermind. We've seen glimpses of it. Everybody talks about him being one of the more creative offensive play callers in the league. And he is. He's shown that before. Everybody wants to talk about how his offense is spectacular. And the tree of Mike Shanahan, the Kyle Shanahan, has certainly had its fingertips all across the NFL. All of these things can be true. What I don't understand is that Kyle Shanahan runs the offense that he does, yet when the Niners get on the opposition side of the 50, he becomes the most conservative coach in the NFL. He doesn't go for it on 4th and shorts from like the 45. Instead, he'll elect to punt instead of going for it. Why not rely? Why not bank on this defense coming through with the stop? Against the Chargers on Sunday Night Football, early on, I would have gone for the touchdown on the opposition's 2-yard line on 4th down to try to get 7 instead of 3. Because worst case scenario, if you don't pick it up, your defense has the Chargers offense pinned back, and you can still get points and a potential safety. And the opportunity and the percentages of the Chargers escaping the shadows of their own goalpost to march downfield is extremely low. So Kyle Shanahan being so conservative like he is drives me nuts. And in terms of his play design and his play calling, even in some instances there, no matter where he is on the field, in between the 20s, inside the 20, or beyond, he is way too vanilla right now. I want to see him get more creative and get little bit more explosive as a play caller. Brutal, do you think we dropped the ball on Justin Fields? No, I don't. I talked a lot about this last week. Justin Fields has made strides as a passer. Justin Fields coming into last week put together a passer rating of at least 100 for 5 straight games. He has thrown for more than 220 yards like once or twice this year. He has run a lot. I think he's the most dynamic running quarterback in the NFL right now outside of Lamar Jackson. But when he is facing a 3rd and 8, can he drop back and can he deliver a throw, which is how you win in the NFL? I have not been shown yet that Justin Fields can do that on a consistent basis. Some of the explosive, off-script, out-of-pocket plays are sensational. They're very Kyler Murray-esque. But can he beat you down after down from the pocket? Need to see more from him as a thrower. He is also a byproduct of having more experience, more snaps, and more starts as a quarterback as compared to Trey Lance. This is what happens when a quarterback is gifted the opportunity and time to develop. Justin Fields had that last year and this year. Trey Lance has made 4 starts in the NFL. He's made 21 total starts going back to 2019 at North Dakota State. If he had that same leash, I think Lance would be better than Justin Fields, and I think that's why the Niners took him at number 3. Words of wisdom, cornerback Joe Hayden is available. He retired, so I'm not sure if he's going to come out of retirement. If I were to bring a retirement player out of retirement, I know Richard Sherman hasn't technically retired, but I'd go Richard Sherman over Joe Hayden any day. Antonio, how do we have so many weapons but lack scoring touchdowns in the red zone? The field does get condensed. The field does get a little bit closed in, so you don't have as much space to operate with. But the Niners' red zone offense, in terms of scoring touchdowns, their touchdown percentage in the red zone has not been good this year. And I think that you have to kind of point to the coach. I know that Jimmy G threw that bad interception against the Kansas City Chiefs, but it's not like they're turning the ball over a bunch in the red area. It comes down to a lack of execution. Now, I have watched some of the All-22, and I've seen that plays are certainly there to score touchdowns. But honestly, with Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle, you have to find a way to get the ball into the end zone and score 7 instead of 3. You can't rely on field goals to win in the playoffs. You have to score touchdowns. So Kyle Shanahan, my message to you, just have to get a little bit better with your play calling in the red zone. Where are you watching from? I want to gauge where everybody is tuned in. And this has been a theme question this week because the Niners playing in Mexico City against the Cardinals on Monday Night Football. We're coming to you from Dallas, Texas. I'm from Pennsylvania. Where are you watching from? Let us know. All right. We'll give you some shout-outs here, and we'll stay live as long as we get Super Chats. We're $31 away from 100. Words of wisdom. Boise, Idaho, baby. Was in San Jose, California previously. Prince, Southwest Florida in the house. Hope you're okay from that hurricane. Ernesto, Tucson. Ellis 10, Cali. Jeremy, Fresno. MM, Richmond. Virginia Beach from Byron. Kansas City from the Savage. California from 707. Baby Cakes. SoCal from Matthew. Greer, South Carolina from Tom. St. Louis from Brad. Rick Nears. Choppy. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Corona, California from David Corona. Did you name your town after you, David? Or have you just taken over as the OG in Corona, California? Anaheim from Pandango Gaming. Tony, Texas Hutto. North Carolina from JC. Jeremy Sandoval. IFR Dries for Denmark. San Fernando Valley from Alberto Soto. Chualor, Hamilton City, California. And Fal Pacino from Memphis.
So, the Raiders for life. It's in reference.
Makes sense. Okay. So Raiders for life a little bit earlier. Y'all threw me for a loop. Raiders for life and Evan Hinders, brother-in-laws. So Evan sent me a package the other day. I'm not sure what it is. I can't wait to see it. I will read it and open it on the show, but I have not gotten it yet. But do appreciate the support there, Evan, and appreciate all your kind words. Name your favorite all-time Niners player right now. And by the way, we are $31 away from $100 in Super Chats. Let's start our 2-minute shot clock here. Any Super Chats inside 2 minutes, we will stay live. Can we get to $100 in Super Chats? We're at 69 right now, which is very nice, but can we get to 100? Yo, what's up from Anaheim, Orange County, from George? What's up, George? Crabtree from Tony. Jerry Rice from Alberto. Ray Castro, Jerry Rice. Danny, Jerry Rice as well. Frank Gore from King Chapo, 559. Antonio, Patrick Willis, that's a good one. Ronnie Lott from ASP. Willis from Malachi. Rice from Matthew Vega. 21 Primetime from Foul. Deion Sanders, what he's doing at Jackson State, it's special. 45 seconds into our 2-minute shot clock. You send in a Super Chat, we'll stay live. If not, we'll sign off. We'll call it a day. We went live a little bit early because the Niners making some roster moves. David Corona, Jerry Rice, that's a good one. Jeremy Sandoval, Patrick Willis. Bang! Rick Neers getting us to 89. We're $11 away from 100. Who's going to get us past the century mark? Rick Neers, Navarro Bowman. Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis. Has that been the best linebacking duo since the turn of the century in 2000? I really think so. Reset the shot clock too, by the way, for Rick. So 2 minutes back on the clock. Yeah, Bowman and Patrick Willis were great. Those defenses under Harbaugh, they were special. They were really special. It's a shame that that team didn't win a Super Bowl in 2012 over the Baltimore Ravens. Words of wisdom. Chase, really interested in the drink menu for Monday. Got to be Mexican themed. Micheladas, Chabelas, tequila, mezcal.
Well,
Trace, are you with me on Monday Night Football?
Probably.
Yeah. It might be Coop too.
Probably, but I brought in a margarita machine yesterday for the Monday Night Football watch party we did.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll just leave it up here for Monday night for the Raiders, the Niners game.
Bet.
I'll leave it up here for you.
Might be able to make some margs. We'll definitely have some tequila. Words of wisdom. We're going to get the Nacho Libre mask. Alberto Soto.
He's our favorite Soto.
He's
Kai
our favorite
Soto's
Soto.
the second one.
Yes. Reset the shot clock. Alberto! Thanks, my guy. A $10 super chat. We are now $1 away from $100. Can we get there in the next 2 minutes? If we get a super chat, we'll stay live. IFR Dries. IFR Dries for Denmark.
For Denmark!
Four Locos, Chase
Antonio.
be under the table from Antonio. Four Locos are trash. I'd rather just drink straight Patron out of the bottle.
Should we go? We could go ranch water. Oh, dude, we got to
Ranch water could be good.
water.
Maybe we'll bring out some Tahine words of wisdom.
Yeah.
Jay Stoker, his favorite Niner.
Rick!
Steve Young. Ricky!
Rick! He done did it again!
He did it again!
He done did it again!
All right, Alberto
We're
Soto,
literally-
I'm adding you.
We're at 100.
We're at 100.
We're at 100. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, guy. He did say, okay, I want to make sure he gets some love here because I saw him earlier after he sent the 50-piece. He's bought the mask.
He did buy the mask.
He wants to make sure he can still get that helmet, though.
Okay.
The minor helmet.
Well, Rick, the number to beat, 110. Patriot Fighter
Oh, I forgot.
on
You
Sunday
beat
Night
it.
Football had a $110 super chat. So that is the new number to beat. But Rick, you're certainly in the running, man. You're in second place right now with Ruben Bacanegra. 110 is the number to beat. Patriot Fighter came through and is now the leader in the clubhouse. But that can change for our
Easy.
minor helmet.
Easily can change.
Easily can change.
It could be 110 and 2 cents.
Yeah.
$111.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yep. All right. Any more super chats? We'll stay live here. We got to $100, and because of that, Trace, let's show them the Nacho Libre mask. You don't have to show the L3, but all we needed to do today was get the $50 in super chats to get this 49ers Nacho Libre themed mask.
So sick.
And we surpassed $50. So I'm going to put an order in. I'm going to get this, and we're going to have it on Monday Night Football. And everybody who sent in a super chat during our live show, we're going to give a shout out to you for helping contribute to the Nacho Libre Fund in graphical form. So we're going to do that for Monday Night Football.
Well, and also, I mean, we do have chairs and stuff. We could full on wrestling.
We could I could jump off a chair and take down Trace, just like in Craggy Games last night. Came down from a 2-0 deficit.
Hit him with a Stone Cold Stunner or something.
Yeah, exactly. How about this one? Words of wisdom. Got to have an adios mother effa topped off with 151.
Yes, sirs. AMS. Those were my favorite in college.
Could you light that thing on fire with all that alcohol?
Wait, like how? Like that? Like that?
Alberto said, "Show the helmet. We need to see it." You want to go get that, Trace?
Ayo!
Jay!
Jay!
He said, "Get that mask." We're getting it. We are officially getting it. And Jay, I'm now going to give you a shout out on our Monday Night Football watch party. Jay Stoker, putting your name on the list. If you want to be on the list for the Nacho Libre Mask Fund, because I'm buying it, I'm wearing it for portions of our Monday Night Football watch party. We'll put it on from time to time. Send in a super chat, and we'll give you a shout out in graphical form during our Monday watch party. Here is, right now, our 49ers hard hat. So during some of our watch parties and a couple of select live shows, anybody who sent in a super chat, $20 or more, we have put your name or your initials on one of these gold stickers, and we put it on the Miner helmet. And as soon as we get this thing filled up, we are going to send it to the biggest super chatter. Right now, the number to beat, $110 from Patriot Fighter, who unseated Ruben Bocanegra as well as Rick Neers. Oh!
Holy shit! Not
Rick!
anymore! Not anymore!
You're getting the helmet as of right now, $200 super chat.
Well, hey, real quick, Ellis sent in a $2 super chat.
Let's go!
Ellis sent in a $2.
Rick.
That's nuts!
Rick. What an OG.
Rick.
So right now the number to beat
It's $200.
And I think the helmet is going to be Rick's helmet. And Rick, when we send it to you, maybe we could autograph it somewhere for you as well. So we'll probably do that maybe on the inside of the helmet. But it's awesome.
Woo!
A hard hat. It's a Miner helmet. Niners country. Let's mine. So, we go by the motto here on the 49ers Report, grind and hustle. And the hard hat really exemplifies that. We are lunch pail, hard hat to work type of people. And that's why we give you videos every single day on the San Francisco 49ers. Rick Neers.
Damn.
Now the leader in the clubhouse to get the Miner helmet for a $200 super chat.
C. Mallet brings up an interesting point. Also, Ernesto, Rick, I'm going to put your super chat back up, but Ernesto suggested this. Maybe a suggestion for food, we could do tacos for dinner?
We could do tacos.
That's
good
too.
too.
That'd be fun.
C. Mallet said, that puts you over 300 today. Didn't you say Jello pool for 300 if you got over that? No, I did not.
If it was a
single one. But honestly, logistically, it'd be very hard to do that. So I'm not sure how we'd be able to do that. We could do some other stunts, but I'm not asking anybody to send in a $300 super chat. But shoot, it would be nuts. Ellis 10's like, yo, Rick, you have all that money. That's crazy. Words of wisdom. Rick, a.k.a. Ricardo, is rocking the beard too. Legendary. ZZ Topish. It is very ZZ Topish.
I love it.
It is very ZZ Topish. Can we get, can you get Rick's picture as a photo image address?
Yeah.
And then I'll hit you with the ZZ Top.
I can get it.
And we'll do a little comparison here.
Side by side.
Yeah, we'll do a little side
Y'all
by
ready to
side.
see some crazy? Hey, so this is also, if you haven't subscribed and you're new to the live show, this is why you should subscribe. We're literally just gonna throw this together right now.
Yeah.
Have some fun. ESPN would never.
No, never.
Not even once.
And we already did 3 segments. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for our analysis, our coverage, news, rumors, we already covered that.
I'll get
let's
a
see
picture.
here.
I'll get a picture.
I got one. I'm sending it to you. There it is. So Rick Nears, and that's a very good point there by Words of Wisdom, saying that he looks very ZZ Top-ish. Rick has a better beard than me. Rick, are you proud of me for growing this awful attempt to have a mustache? I might shave it tonight, but I have a little blonde stash going right now because I said, F it. Let's change it up. Let's do something different.
All right.
It is nothing like Rick's. That would probably take me a lifetime to grow that beard. Not even kidding. So there's Rick. Can you go smaller with it?
Yeah.
Little square action?
This is cool.
So that's Rick. Obviously, it's pixelated because his profile picture is so small. So that's Rick right there with his beard. And let's show ZZ Top. Very similar. Who has a better beard? Rick or ZZ Top?
Type R for Rick. Type
We're
Z
going to
for
make that
ZZ.
our live poll here. We'll make that our live poll.
I'm gonna see if he's. I'm gonna.
Better beard. Rick Nears. ZZ Top. Obviously the answer, it's Rick Nears, a member of the faithful. So that's our live poll. Get your votes in. Better beard, Rick Nears, ZZ Top. So as of right now, Rick is going to get the minor helmet with the $200 super chat that he just sent in. Rick, you're an absolute legend, my guy. And he has his own poll question here on the show. 100% of the votes coming in with Rick so far. 19 votes. I don't think that anybody should vote ZZ Top. It's definitely Rick. And he made a statement here. That helmet is mine! Wow. So we get past $300 super chats on a Tuesday. See what Jeremy's saying here. Tyler just put 42 nuts in his mouth. So this just coming in.
Our
Seahawks Today
host.
host Tyler Jones just put 42 nuts in his mouth.
Maybe we should shove him in a locker.
We could shove him in a locker. We could put Tyler Jones in a locker with the 42 nuts in his mouth.
In his mouth.
Question is, how many nuts do you think you can fit in your mouth?
Type F Tyler. None. 42 is a lot. I need to see the size of those nuts.
Like the video instead of if you want to type F Tyler, also like the video.
They were almonds? That's a lot of almonds. 42 almonds is a lot.
Dude, I'm trying to find a way to get Rick's picture bigger, but
Type F the Seahawks. You're good, man. We got the point across.
Yeah. I know. I just want to show something.
IFR Dree said, better question. How much for Rick's hat? Name the price.
Ooh.
Larry Fort. What's
Rick.
good, Chase? What's good, Larry?
Rick, you know how like NFL players do jersey swaps? We could do like hat swaps.
We can do hat swaps. Chua Lore, F the Seahawks. I just put that in the chat. F the Seahawks. Tyler put 42 nuts in his mouth.
Pause.
Not a surprise that he hosts Seattle Seahawks today.
Not a surprise. The Seahawks host and Seahawks fan.
Jeremy.
Big nuts guy.
Jonathan Lloyd said, Seahawks guy, what do you call them when they're on your chin? He said, what do you call them when they're on your chin? Wendy's? FMC Chickens. Rick Neer said, I gotcha. Hector Ochea, let's go Niners. Let's go Niners. Chase
Nyers,
Stoker.
like it's Nyers.
Chase
Nyers.
looking like the guy on the right with the stash.
Chase,
Yeah, me and Trace. Chase and Trizzy. Mustache boys.
So Rick says, hey, by the way, Chase, it's pronounced Nyers, like tires.
Nyers.
So it's Rick
I got
Nyers.
you. Nyers.
Sorry, Rick.
Rick Nyers. Absolute legend. Thanks for letting us know, Rick. So Rick Nyers. $200 super chat. The helmet is his. We got you, brother. Nyers like tires. Very easy to remember.
So it's
James
Rick
Everidge.
So
do
it's-
your Debo chant. I'll do a Debo chant. Hold on.
So if you had like a UFC nickname, you would be Rick the Niner. Like how Bruce would do it.
Niners. I like that.
Because you're a Niners fan.
That rings.
You know?
Alberto Soto,
cool.
after that $200 super chat, you need to stay live for the next 2 hours. Unfortunately, College Football Playoff Committee is going to meet for the new CFP rankings, and we're in the studio that they need to take over. But I did see somebody say to do the Debo chant. Next super chat, I'll do the Debo chant. Next super chat, I'll do the Debo chant. No, you make a good point, Rick. Can't have it pronounced wrong, being the best super chatter. No question.
Real ones
No
get
question.
real ones get that special.
Now, I don't
treatment.
think that you corrected us earlier. So we appreciate you correcting us now, because when you sent in 200, you become an all-time legend. I believe that's the biggest super chat in the history of the show. I believe. So
Shout
with
out
that,
Rick.
he gets an L3 as well.
I'm gonna get
Rick
one.
Nearest, today's MVP. Taking a look at our live poll now. Better beard, Rick Nyers, or ZZ Top? 78% Rick Nyers. It's pretty good. Rick said, I want that mask too. TBD if we're going to auction it off. TBD if we're going to auction that off. I'm just glad I was here to see it from LS10. All right, 2-minute shot clock is on. We don't need any more super chats. Rick came through with 200. We got past 300. But if you guys want us to stay live, we'll stay live. Just got to get a super chat inside 2 minutes. Larry Ford, how much can you super chat to get a free jersey? You know, Mitch and Jeremy were doing something like that. To get me a jersey, it'd probably be like $200. $200 and we get myself a custom Niners jersey, and you get to choose who goes on the Niner jersey. That could be kind of sick. Or like the name, that's what I'm saying. You can customize a Niners jersey for a $200 super chat that I wear on air. Mitch has done that a couple of times on the Raiders Report. That could be fun.
Rick, we got you an L3, got you a graphic.
The super chat king, Rick Nyers.
Also,
And as of right now, this Miner helmet is going to be his. Who's going to beat $200? I think Rick Nyers is the only one.
So
Daniel Morris,
Ayo!
$10.
This is pretty funny from Words of Wisdom. He says, what's crazy is Rick shaved his beard a few inches before that picture was taken.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty long.
And it was still down here.
Yeah.
He's a man's man. All right, Daniel Morris. I said the next super, we'd reset the shot clock and we do the Debo chant. Debo. Whoa. Debo. Whoa. Eloise Voorhees, Niners fan watching all the way from Westchester. Now, are you saying that because you know that I'm from Westchester? Or are you just saying that because you're from Westchester, you had no idea, and this is a classic, wow, what a small world? Eloise, I'm from Westchester. That's crazy. Let me know where you're at. Niner fan watching from Dub C, the 6'10", the 484. Let's go. Eloise, where do you live? Not specifically. We're not going to stalk you, but in what area? I grew up off 926 and 202. My family moved, so I no longer live there. Ken, Niners fan from northeastern Pennsylvania. I used to work in Scranton. That's awesome.
Chef Mike.
All right, Daniel Morris, we're adding you to the Nacho Libre Fund. You'll get a shout out as well. Daniel Morris, Ellis10. We got to put Ellis10 on there. And Chef Mike.
It's 6'10", baby, Darlington.
Darlington? That's awesome. The 6'10", Eloise, Darlington. I'm actually not sure where that is. I was near Penn Oaks Golf Course, if you're familiar. Watching from Colorado Springs, a.k.a. Olympic City. Moses Rosa. Did you know that the Niners are practicing at Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs to get ready for the elevation change in Mexico City on Monday night?
David, we could never forget you.
David Corona, don't forget about me. I'm a real one. I gave you a shout out earlier. I said David Corona is the king of Corona, California. Dakota, San Francisco, Sala gang. I see ya. Moses Rosa, I did. Awesome.
$5 super chat from Chef
Nottingham,
Mike.
Germany from Niner Faithful. Chef Mike, why did we sign a quarterback and a wideout and not OBJ? Well, they signed a quarterback and a wideout to the practice squad. OBJ would be the active roster and it'd be a lot more expensive. So that's why, Chef Mike. Hector, $10.
All right, well,
let's go, Hector.
So I know we said we weren't going to drink at all or anything on this live show. It's a Tuesday. Got to be responsible and whatnot. But I mean, we're what, 40 or 60 something bucks away. We're like 60 something dollars away from 400. Chase, can I do a beer bong if we have $400?
Yeah, we'll do that.
You'll let it slide just this once.
Yeah.
All
If
right.
we get the $400 in Super Chats, Trace will do a beer bomb.
Like, we didn't expect any of this to happen. Like,
Yeah.
We got to give them something, you know?
We just went live early because the Niners signed a couple of guys to the practice squad.
We would be going live now. It's 4:07. We would be going live now.
Would have gone live now.
It's crazy.
Yep. David Corona, thank you, man. I got you. So 336 in Super Chats. If we get to 400, Trace will do a beer bomb. Trace will do a beer bomb. The chops are thirsty. Chug-a-lug, baby. John Wallace with the 5. He's giving a shout-out to Rick Nyers, which he should. John Wallace is also an OG. He's always coming in with those subtle $5 Super Chats. Appreciate your donations, man. You're a real one. What a legend, Rick. I'm glad I was able to see it. I'm still staying a real one. Niners. So now that gets us $59 away from a Trace beer bomb.
Johnny boy.
And shoot, let me just throw this out there. I'll shotgun a beer if we get to $400 in Super Chats. If you twist my arm, I'll do a shotgun. Trace will do a beer bomb. We're $59 away. Can we get there? Can we get there? We'll have some fun and celebrate the Niners being 5-4, getting back on track. And if we get there, we'll probably just sign off and call it. So we'll start our shot clock again. We'll continue to answer your questions in your Super Chats, by the way. Right now, it's kind of like the MVP club. Those of you who hang around after we do our segments, you're in the MVP club of the 49ers Report because you're real ones and you just hang out with us because I just love chopping it up with everybody. Nice. Danny Ramos, you the man, Chase. Daywalker with 10.
Heyo. Heyo.
All right, so I have to add Daywalker,
All right, Daywalker.
and John Wallace to the Nacho Libre Fund.
We're shooting one off for Daywalker.
Daywalker for the best in Trizzy and Chase. Bang.
That's got to be it. Big
So that
Super
gets us
Chats,
$49 away from a beer bong and a shotgun. I think we're about to get there. I really do. JW said cheers. And let's show them, Trace. All the Super Chats that get featured on the show today, we're going to give you shout-outs during our Monday Night Football watch party. Rick led the charge with the $200 Super Chat. Rick Nyers is the Super Chat king. Right now, we're going to be sending him this Miner helmet. Niners country, let's mine. But I had said at the start of the show, everybody who sends in a Super Chat, you're going to be a part of the Nacho Libre Mask Fund because the Niners are going to be playing against the Arizona Cardinals on Monday Night Football in Mexico City. And because the Niners have such a large Spanish following, we're going to celebrate that game in Mexico City in one of the more famed soccer venues in the world, Azteca, down there in Mexico City, an attendance figure of nearly 90,000, and we're going to get this Nacho Libre mask. So all of you who helped donate, we're going to get the Nacho Libre mask, and everybody who sent in a Super Chat, we're going to give you shout-outs here on the show on Monday during our watch party. Can you go through the players they signed on the practice squad? Of course we can, Alberto Soto. Let's go Jacob Eason, and then we'll go Dazz Newsome, their Trace. So the 49ers making a couple of signings to their practice squad. By the way, $49 away from a shotgun and a beer bong from the homies. So we'll first talk about Jacob Eason. San Francisco signed him to the practice squad. They did release quarterback Kurt Benkert as the corresponding roster move. They have also signed wide receiver Dazz Newsome, a late-round pick who just kind of flamed out with the Chicago Bears, but is fast, went to UNC, does have some return ability. For Jacob Eason, 24 years old, a former 5-star quarterback, U.S. Army All-American, transferred to Washington after Georgia, was a 4th-round pick in 2020, has a strong arm, nice size, 6'6", 231, that's about it, has played very sparingly in his NFL career, only throwing 10 balls so far since getting drafted back a couple of years ago in 2020. No touchdowns, 2 picks, 84 yards, and a quarterback rating of 39.2. So you asked us to break those signings down. We already did so earlier on, but those are the signings for the San Francisco 49ers. That and Dazz Newsome, who played his college ball at UNC, went to the Chiefs, didn't really do anything. 2021, 3 games played, 5 targets, 2 catches, 23 yards. Ernesto, do you expect more receptions for Debo and Kittle for Monday Night Football? Hopefully. I'm hoping at some point the Niners are going to get them involved. Debo's had a bad year. George Kittle has a bad year. On pace, Kittle is for his fewest amount of receptions since his rookie season. So when they're clicking, when they're involved, this Niners team a lot different. Moses Rosa, this is great. Lord Chase, because of our established titles read, do you believe the Niners can run the table all the way to the Super Bowl? Run the table? No. The NFL is too competitive, to run the table. Do I think that San Francisco, they can make a run at a Super Bowl and potentially win the NFC? I do think so. I think that they are stacked enough, talented enough, well coached enough when Kyle Shanahan is in his bag to maybe have that quest for 6. What are we at in Super Chats from Rick Nyers? We're at 351, Rick. 351. And if we get to 400, Trace, he does a beer bong and I'll shotgun a beer. You twist my arm, I'll shotgun a beer. So we're $49 away from $400 in Super Chats.
Also, I know, words of wisdom, I know he's saying chug a lot. Y'all better be ready to go for the watch party. That's a thing.
Watch party's going to be awesome on Monday night.
You guys better be ready to go. It's going to be a good time.
49, if someone drops that, we win. True. 49 away for the 49ers. I feel as though it's only right.
I
feel as though it's only right.
It's fate.
Dick, who has more rushing yards, Mitchell or McCaffrey? Against Arizona? Honestly, it doesn't matter. If one of them has more rushing yards, that's great. Christian McCaffrey, used as a disguise on Sunday night, led to a couple of really big plays for the Niners offense. And Kyle Shanahan continued to go to the hot hand in Elijah Mitchell. And it worked. Guy had nearly 5 yards per carry. Hector, another 10. Gets us to 361. Now we're 39 away from 4. Hector, cowboy hat too. Looking good, Hector. Alberto, if Rick sends you that 49, you should just send him that helmet. I mean, you have a good argument to make. I just want to get it filled up first. I just want to get it filled up
I will
first.
say, if he sends a $50, he will have sent $300 today. So.
Yeah, if Rick does send 50, it will have been $300 on one show. Rick Nyers, an absolute legend. Man. And as we see below, the Super Chat King. The Super Chat boss.
Today's 49ers Report is brought to you by Rick Nyers.
Today's 49ers Report is presented by Established Titles, LinkedIn Talent Solutions, and Rick Nyers.
And Rick Nyers. Shout out Lord Rick Nyers.
Lord Rick Nyers. All right. I think I have all the Super Chats on here that I have to give shout-outs to. Hector. Oh, Ricky! He did it again!
Oh, no, he done did it again!
A 50!
He done did it again!
Gets us to 411. Rick, you got to be kidding me. Dude. Bay Area sports, Warriors, Giants, Niners, stay true. Rick Nyers. Rick.
Everyone type faithful to the Bay. Also, we got a Rick Nyers. Bang!
Faithful to the Bay and faithful to Rick. All right, beer bong, shotgun coming up. You twist our arm, we'll do it.
Rick Nyers today?
Rick Nyers is the 49ers Report daddy. Yes, he is. Give me a warm beer there, Trace. We'll sign off after this. Rick, you're a ledge, dude. I think that we just have to send this to you. You know, I doubt that anybody beats your number. And today, $300 alone. So, Rick, MVP. Give him that helmet. All y'all just sign it and send it to him. We'll continue to get all this filled up. But hey, Rick, you have to agree. Competition brings the best out of everybody. Rick. All right, we're going to sign off after we do a beer bong. I got him. Beer bong and a shotgun coming your way. Dakota. Saying some weird things, Dakota. What are you saying, Dakota? Talking Jimmy G. VV Focus. Bang, bang. Rick MVP of the Niner gang. That's facts.
I just gotta say, I love that. I love that people are showing love to Rick in the chat. I mean, that's just incredible. Keep showing the love.
Yeah.
Rick Nyers is a freaking G.
Also, everybody sending in a super chat, by the way, you are contributing to the Nacho Libre Mask Fund. We're going to be rocking the Nacho Libre mask on Monday Night Football to celebrate the Niners playing in Mexico City. And because we got past $400, shotgun and a beer bong coming your way. Hector said, give it to Rick. Rick, how about you getting all the love, man? You deserve it. Better beard. Rick Nyers, 71%. ZZ Top, 29%.
There's a correct answer. It's not ZZ Top.
Yep. Cheers. Trace beer bong. Shotgun for your boy. Then we'll sign off. Ooh, it's guzzling. Cheers to the gang. Let's go.
Delicious.
16 Bar King, look out. 16 Bar King is here. Oh yeah, he has the bars. He has the bars indeed. JW, Rick is a Bay God. He is a Bay God. 16 Bar King, you're contributing to the Nacho Libre Fund as well. We're wearing a Nacho Libre mask for parts of our watch party on Monday Night Football. Give Rick a jersey. Well, as of right now, he's probably getting this helmet. I don't think anybody's beaten 300. Rick Nyers, since Run TMC in the Montana days. He's been a Bay Area God and a Bay Area faithful since Run TMC in the Montana days. Rick is more of a goat than Ricky Waters. Alberto Soto, number one fan, Rick. 16 Bar King. Rick might have the helmet, but King got the bars. This is true. This is true.
Love it. I love it.
Evan, see you later, Chase. DM me on Twitter when you receive the package. I will, my guy. I will. I imagine you did standard shipping, right, Evan? So it could take a couple of days to get here.
And we have no idea what it is, right?
No idea what it is.
That's fun.
No idea.
We love that.
Let me know if you got a notification that it got delivered, Evan. All right, so we're at 421. I'm not going to say that we're going to mess around and get to 500.
But we might.
I did say that we would sign off after 400, but
We might.
I mean, this has been a lot of fun. So 2-minute shot clock is on. 2-minute shot clock is on.
2 minutes. You want to do 2 minutes? Every super chat comes in, we spin the wheel?
That's a lot, man. Could be a lot.
Could be
We'll
a lot
spin
of
the wheel at
push-ups.
least once.
Could be
We'll
a
spin
lot
the
of-
wheel at least
It's true.
once.
It's true.
All right, so the 2-minute shot clock is on. This has been a blast today. We went live a little bit early to talk about Jacob Eason, Dazz Newsome, preview this Cardinals game, Kyler Murray injury update. Gave you some information on the Niners practicing in Colorado Springs to get ready for the elevation change. Byron saying Rick the GOAT. Chua Lore. Is Kyler Murray going to play against us? Not sure yet, Chua. Not sure. Evan Hinders, I only forgot to put Chat Sports on the envelope, but that might not be an issue. Hopefully, Evan, you put our suite number on there, right? And if that's the case, it should get delivered. David Whitted, Kyler Murray should have kept his contract with the A's. Good stuff right there, actually. Let's get to that. This is Cliff Kingsbury on Kyler Murray today. We want to continue to progress him and see where things are. We're playing the Niners. They have a defensive line that you better be full speed against and be able to run, move, and do the things that he can do. So we'll see how he feels Wednesday, try to go from there. In the last game, he wasn't able to really separate like he can when he gets in those open spaces. That's a big weapon for him. And Colt McCoy did get the start, and the Cardinals won. They beat the Rams with Kyler Murray out of the lineup. Overrated? I think so. All right, 2 minutes to get any more super chats in. Our shot clock is down to 20 seconds. Anthony said, bring Rick on the show. He's been on the show on Call-In. Rick Nyers has been on the show on Call-In. Yeah. Rick, if you have an Instagram, let us know. We can IG call you at some point. It's been a real one today, guys. Always enjoy the faithful. Rick, salute to you, my guy. All right, 10 seconds in to get any more super chats. If not, we'll sign off. We'll call it a day. In case you missed the Niners news today, we will be pushing out that video on the channel, so stay tuned for that. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, appreciate everybody who tuned in all throughout the day. To everybody who did send in a super chat, you contributed to the Nacho Libre Mask Fund. We'll be rocking a Nacho Libre mask on Monday Night Football for our watch party to celebrate San Francisco playing in Mexico City, but also to celebrate the Spanish heritage. And a lot of our Spanish 49er followers and subscribers who are tuned in from all across the globe, including in Mexico City, which is where the Niners are going to be. Words of wisdom, definitely a big proponent of that. Have a great day, boys and everyone. We got you. Appreciate everybody for tuning into the show. We out. Rick Nyers, the Super Chat King and today's MVP. We appreciate you, especially my guy.